Hello. So you're watching a training video for how to use Affinity's multifamily time card. So if you're a technician and you're making piece rate, or you're a new hire and you're going to test in as a technician, this is the time card that you're going to be using. We're going to go through and I'm going to fill one out here and show you how we want it. But before we do, I just want to hit some main points. So from Monday moving on, Monday of this week, this time card these are the ones we're going to use to pay you. So as of Monday, everybody needs to be using these time cards. Don't submit anything but you can submit other notes and stuff if you want, but this is what we're going to be using. So they need to be filled out how this video shows. And then you guys know they need to be filled out on the Friday before payroll is processed. So whatever version is there at the end of the day. So when Tiffany gets into process payroll on Monday, whatever version is there when she opens it, that's what you're going to get paid off of. Now, Google time stamps this, so we can backtrack and look at every edit that's happened to our time cards. And so if there's any confusion, we can figure that out and backtrack it. But that's just kind of an FYI. So just have it there for you ready, or for Tiffany ready on Fridays. And then another thing is, if you're using ADP still to clock in, stop using ADP. ADP is not, they didn't give us what we needed. I thought when we first announced these time cards that I made that clear, and I must not have, because apparently a lot of people are still using ADP to clock in and out. Just stop that altogether. This is all you need. Google time stamps it. It gives us everything that we need. So you can still use ADP to look at your past pay stubs and all that good stuff. And so I'd recommend keeping those accounts open, but only use these time cards from here out. So you can use them on your PC like I'm doing, or your computer, or you can use them on your phones. The interface on phones is different, and how you interact with the document's going to be different. So I'm going to attach 2 YouTube videos showing you how to use Google Sheets on an Android phone and on an Apple phone. If you get stuck, just go to YouTube and Google it. There's tons of tutorials on how to do it. So take the time to figure this out, because it's really important. This is how you get paid, right? So it needs to be done correctly. When you're done with this video, you're also going to be emailed an exam. You need to take that. There's going to be 5 or 6 questions. I haven't built it out yet, but you need to get all the answers correct. And then at the last one, you're just going to sign off that you've watched the video and you've done this training. And then it needs to be completed by the deadline set on that exam. The exam needs to be completed by that timeline. I'm just looking through some notes here to make sure I'm covering everything. So then a question came up, like, when do you have to record a start and a stop time on the time card every time you do a task? The answer to that is a loose no, you don't, but I would highly recommend that you do, because I'm not on the field, but to me, it just makes more sense that I would clock in when I start a task and stop. I did a test on my phone. It takes about 3 minutes to do it. So every time I finished a piece rate task, I would just clock in on my phone for the next one. That just seems way more efficient to me than sitting down at the end of the day and going through and filling it all out, because of just memory. I would have a hard time remembering all the different tasks I've done. But we're not going to be picky on that. It just needs to be accurate by Friday, the Friday before payroll. So just just make sure the records are kept accurately whenever is best for you. Let's see. So I think, yep, that's it for big picture. So let's get in and just kind of look at how it works. So the first column is easy. It's your date, right? So let's say today I worked out at Towns Fair doing demo. I'm going to say 6/7/2018. I can enter the date like that, or I can just double click and a calendar pops up. So, but I'm just going to, I'm right now I've already entered it. So I'm going to enter the property, and I'm going to say it's Town Fair, but I'm just going to put the initial. And do that for all your properties. So it's the first letters of the first and last word. So Altamont Summit is AS. Fieldstone is FS. So if the longer you're with us, you'll know that. But just use the initials. So let's say the unit number is 101. Put that in there. And let's say it's a 1x1. One bedroom, one bath. So I started this demo. Say I started at 8 a.m. In the morning, and I do it up until lunch. So my clock in is 8 a.m. And look how I have it here. I've got the hour, the minute, and then a.m. And it has to be in that format. If you just put 8 and enter, it's not gonna work for you. So let's say 8 a.m. and I'm going to work until 12 p.m. And then I'm ready for lunch at 12 p.m. Right. So here, total hours 4 hours. Let's say I did not get demo done. So I'm just going to no right here. I'm not finished with that task. So now because there's an in there, we know not to pay you for that full task. And then if you've been approved for piece rate, you put a P. If you're still new with us and you're still hourly and you haven't tested it as a technician yet, you would put H. But for the sake, we're pretending I'm a technician, so I'm going to put a P. That's piece rate. And then this is really important here. So right here, I'm going to say demo because that's a piece rate task. And this is, again, you can see how we're going to know how to pay you because you're doing piece rate for that demo. Now, let's say I want to make a little note, then I can just do a little note after it. But we need you to specify what task you're doing in this column. And then since you're clocking out for lunch, you're just going to put a Y right here. So let's talk about lunch breaks real quick. You have to have a half-hour lunch break every single day. That is Oregon law, and we're going to enforce that. If you do not click a yes here, then somebody will be reaching out to you, finding out why. But we need to see a yes for every day, showing that you took lunch every single day. And plus, it's just good for you to take a break, relax, take a half hour, catch your brain after doing a bunch of tasks, and just chill. So there you go. So let's say then after lunch, I come back in, same date. I'm going to double click it. Let's see. Well, let me double click. Something's up there. So I'm just going to enter it manually. Back at Town Fair again. 101, 1x1. And at 12:30 p.m. And then I'm doing demo for the rest of the day. So I'm going to say I clock out at 4 p.m. And there you go. So right now, we're saying 4:30 p.m. Right now, you see I got 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening. That's a full work day. Now I'm done with the demo, so I click yes because that's done. And so Tiffany, as she's processing, she's going to see a Y, and she'll be like, "Sweet, we know that Jeremy finished the demo, and now he gets paid for that." And that's piece rate. Now, let's say I want to make a note. Let's say there's something Adam needs to know. I'm just going to put a little note here to Adam. Adam, this is the task we talked about. So you can put little notes there if you want to. This pay column, this does not need to be filled out. This is more for you, so you can track what you're making. So let's say piece rate pays $1. Well, I don't know what piece rate pays. Demo pays, I have no idea. I'm just saying $1 right now to make it easy. This is just a way for you to track what you're making. So we won't use this to calculate your pay, but that's for you just to have a reference. So fill that if you want. If you don't worry about it. Actually, it would go, I'm going to correct that. It would go right here because that is the time when you completed your task. Okay, so there you go. So that's how it's done. It needs to be done that way every time and consistently. Again, if you want to put notes, put notes. If you want to turn in other stuff, that's fine. I know some people were highlighting work done before and after lunch, which is totally fine, but this general format needs to be there for everybody so we know how to process it. So Hey, as always, thank you guys for all that you do, and we'll see you later.